колеги.
Добренько, ну все, тримайтеся, все буде добре.
Я прошу вибачення, звук вимикаємо, коли не балакаємо. Валерій Олександрович.
Ви можете відмикати на самі.
А бої?
Ви право адміністратора маєте.
Право администратора.
Ні, там є право.
Участников. Да тут просто нет.
Нет.
Так, доброго дня, шановні колеги. Сьогодні 17 лютого 2023 року, 10:00. Дозвольте розпочати наше засідання. Рішенням вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету від 17 жовтня 2022 року, протокол номер 5, та наказом ректора номер 430К від 8.11.2022 року у Сумському національному аграрному університеті утворено спеціалізовану вчену раду для прийняття до розгляду та проведення разового захисту дисертації СЮЙПІНЬ на тему «Протизапальні ефекти механізм дії екстракту хлорогенової кислоти Стараксум офіциналі на ЛТЕ-індукований мастит у дійних корів». Англійською мовою тема звучить «Anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism on chlorogenic acid extract from Starаксум офіциналі on LTE-induced mastite and dairy calves». На здобуття ступеня доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Склад ради: голова Шкрамада Оксана Іванівна, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор, завідувач кафедри акушерства та хірургії Сумського національного аграрного університету, це я. Рецензенти: Улько Лариса Григорівна, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор, завідувач кафедри терапії, фармакології, клінічної діагностики та хімії Сумського національного аграрного університету, тут присутня. Мусієнко Юрій Володимирович, кандидат ветеринарних наук, доцент кафедри акушерства та хірургії Сумського національного аграрного університету, тут також присутній. Ушкалов Валерій Олександрович, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор кафедри епізотології, мікробіології і вірусології Національного університету біоресурсів і природокористування України, також тут присутній. Зажарський Володимир Володимирович, кандидат ветеринарних наук, доцент, завідувач кафедри інфекційних хвороб Дніпровського державного аграрно-економічного університету, також тут присутній. Шановні колеги, здобувач також тут присутня. Отже, на підставі реєстрації присутні всі 5 членів спеціалізованої вченої ради. Кворум необхідний для засідання є, і ми маємо всі офіційні підстави для того, щоб розпочати засідання. Засідання спеціалізованої вченої ради оголошую відкритим. На порядку денному захист дисертації аспірантки денної форми навчання кафедрі ветсанекспертизи, мікробіології, зоогієни та безпеки якості продуктів тваринництва Сумського національного аграрного університету СЮЙПІНЬ на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Тема дисертації – протизапальний ефект і механізм дії екстракту хлорогенової кислоти Стараксум офіциналі на ЛТЕ-індукований мастит у дійних корів. Науковий керівник, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор кафедри ветсанекспертизи, мікробіології, зоогієни та безпеки якості продуктів тваринництва Сумського національного аграрного університету Фотіна Ганна Анатоліївна. До спеціалізованої вченої ради надійшли такі документи: заява щодо проведення атестації здобувача, копія першої сторінки паспорта громадянина Китайської Народної Республіки, копія диплома магістра, витяг з наказу про зарахування до аспірантури, засвідчений в встановленому порядку, академічна довідка про виконання відповідної освітньо-наукової програми, висновок наукового керівника, висновок про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дисертації, дисертація в друкованому та електронному вигляді, відбитки копій наукових публікацій, зарахованих за темою дисертації, засвідчений у встановленому порядку. Всі документи відповідають встановленим вимогам. Дисертація до захисту подається вперше. Хто за запропонований порядок денний, прошу проголосувати. Хто за? Проти? Утримався? Немає. Пропозиція приймається одноголосно. Дозвольте зачитати біографічні дані аспіранта. Сюйпінь, 1986 року народження, громадянка Китайської Народної Республіки. У 2012 році закінчила Хінанський інститут науки та техніки Китайської Народної Республіки за ступенем магістр, який визнаний в Україні Міністерством освіти і науки України у 2020 році. В жовтні 2018 року зарахована до аспірантури Сумського національного аграрного університету. Дисертацію виконано на кафедрі ветсанекспертизи мікробіології, зоогієни та безпеки якості продуктів тваринництва у Сумському національному аграрному університеті. Тему дисертації затверджено в останній редакції 3 жовтня 2022 року на засіданні вченої ради Сумського національного аграрного університету, протокол засідання номер 4. Сюйпінь завершила виконання освітньої наукової програми у 2022 році. З жовтня 2022 року був проведений 3 жовтня був проведений фаховий семінар з апробації дисертації на кафедрі ветсанекспертизи, мікробіології, зоогієни та безпеки якості продуктів тваринництва за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина, на якому дисертацію було рекомендовано до розгляду та захисту у разовій спеціалізованій вченій раді. Основні положення та отримані наукові результати дисертаційної роботи висвітлені у 20 наукових публікаціях, з яких 4 статті в наукових фахових виданнях України, 3 у журналах науково-метричних баз даних Scopus та Web of Science, 3 статті у науково-фахових виданнях Китаю, 9 тез наукових доповідей і 1 методичні рекомендації. Наукові публікації відповідають вимогам пункту 9 і 8 порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої ради закладу вищої освіти, наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії, постанова КМУ від 12 січня 2022 року номер 44. Дисертація відповідає вимогам наказу МОН України номер 40 від 12.01.17 року про затвердження вимог до оформлення дисертації та порядку присудження ступеня доктора філософії та скасування рішення разової спеціалізованої вченої ради закладу вищої освіти наукової установи про присудження ступеня доктора філософії. Постанова Кабінету міністрів України від 12 січня 2022 року номер 44. Чи є питання у членів спеціалізованої ради стосовно висвітленої інформації? Якщо немає, із доповідачем погоджено, що захист дисертації буде відбуватись англійською мовою. Для викладу основних результатів дослідження слово надається аспірантці Сюйпінь. To present the main results of the research, the word is given to graduate student Sюйпінь. Please, Sюйпінь. Sюйпінь, presentation, your presentation.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you, Professor. Now let me start my presentation. Good morning, everyone. I'm very glad to take a report here. My name is Xu Ping, a PhD student of veterinary medicine. My dissertation applied for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. My scientific advisors are Professor Tatjana Fortina, Hannah Fortina, Doctor of Veterinary Science. My topic is anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacum officinale on LTA-induced dairy cow mastitis. In current area, mastitis continues to be the most common disease in the dairy cows. It's affected by the environmental, physiological, and genetic factors. Mastitis can lead to reduced milk production and quality, causing serious economic losses to animal husbandry. At present, antibiotics are mainly used for the treatment of cow mastitis. However, the abuse of antibiotics has led to increased resistance to pathogenic bacteria and serious drug residues. It causes serious food safety and public health problems. Now, antibiotics were prohibited in dairy industry in many countries. Therefore, there is an urgent need for scientific and effective drugs for the treatment of mastitis in veterinary clinical. Traditional Chinese medicine has low toxicity, no residues, and is not easy to produce drug resistance. It's widely used in prevention and treatment of dairy core mastitis. Taraxacum officinale, also known as dandelion, is a famous traditional Chinese herb, commonly used for the treatment of inflammatory and infectious diseases. Chlorogenic acid is the main active substance extract from dandelion, which has played an important role in the study of many inflammatory diseases. However, there's no studies have investigated the effect of chlorogenic acid for the treatment of core mastitis caused by lipotechoic acid. The materials of the dissertation are part of Sumy National Agrarian University scientific research works. This study aims to explore the anti-inflammatory effects of chlorogenic acid on LTA-induced bovine memory epithelial cells and its mechanism, especially on the pathway, to provide theoretical guidance and help for the clinical application of chlorogenic acid in veterinary medicine and the development of dairy core mastitis prevention and treatment drugs. For this purpose, we carried out the following 5 experiments. 1. Extraction and detection of chlorogenic acid in Taraxacum officinale. 2. Antibiofilm activity against Staphylococcus aureus and content analysis of Taraxacum officinale phenolic extract. 3. In vitro culture and evaluate of bovine memory epithelial cells from Ukraine dairy cores. 4. Establishment of inflammatory model of bovine memory epithelial cells induced by LTA. 5. Effect of chlorogenic acid on inflammatory of bovine memory epithelial cells induced by 5. Effect of chlorogenic on inflammatory response induced by LTA in bovine memory epithelial cells. Here is the roadmap. In this study, chlorogenic acid, one of the active substances isolated from dandelion, was used as the main research drug, and the Palmer cultured dairy core memory epithelial cells were used as the research object. CCK8, Western blot, ELISA, qRT-PCR, and other methods were used to study the mechanism of dandelion chlorogenic acid on LTA-induced inflammatory response of dairy core mastitis to provide a scientific basis for clinical treatment of mastitis. The objective of this study is antibacterial and anti-inflammatory effect of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacum officinale. The subject of this study is the anti-inflammatory effect of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacum officinale on inflammatory model of bovine memory epithelial cells induced by LTA. And the research methods, we use serological, bacteriological, pharmacological, toxicological, immunological, and statistical. From 2018 to 2022, the dissertation was performed on the basis of Veterinary Pharmacy Laboratory of Sumy National Agrarian University, Preventive Veterinary Medicine Laboratory of Henan Institute of Science and Technology, Animal Diseases Molecular Diagnostic Laboratory of Xinjiang University. We carried out the study in 5 stages according to the 5 experiments and conduct experiments in the laboratory. The following results were obtained. Part 1, extraction and detection of chlorogenic acid in dandelion. The chlorogenic acid was extracted from dandelion by microwave-assisted extraction and detected directly by HPLC method. Here we can see from the peak area, the content of CGA in sample was found to be 1.43 milligram per gram. Then the single factor experiments were used to find the effect of solvent concentration, MAE temperature and time, liquid-solid ratio on extraction of CGA. The best concentration was 16%. The best MAE temperature was 17 Celsius. The best extraction time was 45 minutes, and the best liquid-solid ratio was 1 to 30 grams per milliliter. The highest CGA extraction rate was 1.89%. Based on the single-factor experimental results, air-9 Oscano test was performed. The optimal process condition for dandelion CGA extraction was A2, B2, C1, D2, and the dandelion CGA extraction rate was 1.92%. It's higher than the single-factor result. We marked the result in green circle and to compare it with the single-factor result in red circle. Here we can see this process takes short time, low energy, and low cost. Part 2. We also use HPLC method to detect 5-phenolic extract from dandelion. Chlorogenic acid has the highest content. It's 1.34 milligram per gram. To compare with the black control group, the simple group with 0.5 MIC and 1 MIC phenolic extract showed a lower bacteria absorbance, indicating that the phenolic acid had a certain inhibitory effect on the growth of Staphylococcus aureus. The effect of phenolic extract on cell wall, cell membrane, and protein content were also tested. The results showed that phenolic extract from dandelion against Staphylococcus cause membrane depolarization and membrane permeabilization, affecting intercellular enzyme activities, then lead the bacteria to death. Part 3. In vitro culture cells from the Ukraine dairy cow's milk. We can see after 3 days, there's simple cells. After 10 days, there's cell island, and the cell grows well day after day. The resisted cells also grows well. The isolated cells express epithelial cell marker protein. The isolated cells express beta-casein gene and casein subfamily 1 member A1 gene. The Western blot analysis showed isolated cells also express beta-casein protein. The above result provides that the isolated cells were membrane epithelial cells. Part 4. In order to establishment of inflammatory model, we first tested the toxicity of LTA to BMEC with the CCKH and RTCA results. Different concentrations of LTA showed no toxicity on BMEC. Then we use ELISA and qRT-PCR to detect the TNF-alpha and IL-6 gene and protein expression. The results showed that the treatment of BMEC with LTA at 20 nanogram per microliter for 24 hours absolutely improved the protein and gene expression levels. So we choose this condition. The last part, we test the effect of chlorogenic acid on inflammatory response. Chlorogenic acid has no toxicity on BMEC, and with chlorogenic acid and LTA, the cell mobility increased. With the ELISA and qRT-PCR results, we can see chlorogenic acid can reduce the expression of inflammatory factors in a concentration-dependent manner. With the Western blot result on NF-kappa-P pathway, we can see chlorogenic acid can also reduce the TLR2, P65, IKB alpha protein expression, also in a concentration-dependent manner. Achieve goals. In our dissertation, the optimal extraction process conditions of chlorogenic acid was determined. The conditions for the detection of chlorogenic acid by HPLC was determined. Phenolic acid in dandelion can reduce the hydrophobicity of Staphylococcus aureus or cell surface, destroy the cell wall, and increase the permeability of cell membrane. Chlorogenic acid has potential value of anti-inflammatory against Staphylococcus LTA2 mastitis. The anti-inflammatory molecular mechanism of chlorogenic acid might be chlorogenic acid attenuated NF-kappa-B pathway by suppressing the TLR2 expression and then inhibited TNF-alpha, IL-6, IL-1 beta expressions. Offers to production. We comment using the materials of the dissertation in the study of veterinary internal medicine and Chinese traditional veterinary science for master's study in Sumei National Agrarian University and the Henan Institute of Science and Technology. At the farmer level, dandelion extract may use as a new type of feed additive in production, and new therapies with CGA as a drug should be developed in the future. We also take some social practice and have a happy school life with our two teachers. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Сюйпінь. Доповідь завершена. Прошу задавати питання. The report is complete. Please ask questions. Please, academic Nan, Doctor Veterinary Science Professor Ушкало Валерій Олександрович. Questions, please.
Добрий день. Please describe the mechanism of action of Taraxacuma officinale phenolic extract on Staphylococcus aureus. Please.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for your question. My answer should be the mechanism for the phenolic extract change the integrity of the cell wall, increase the permeability of the cell membrane, leak the content in the bacteria, and then lead to the bacterial death. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. Please describe the main substance in Taraxacuma officinale and how detect of phenolic content, of the total phenolic content.
Okay, thank you, Professor. My answer should be Taraxacum officinale contains a lot of active substance, such as polysaccharide, saponins, phenolanes, and phenolic acids. Dandelion extracts were evaluated for their total phenolic content using a modified variant of the phenylene oxide. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Staffisfield. Statisfield. Thank you.
Володимир Володимирович Зажарський. Your questions, please. Yes.
Thank you. Why was C-reactive protein not studied as the main marker of inflammation?
Thank you, Professor. My answer should be, I think C-reactive protein is an inflammatory factor that stimulates of liver and epithelial cells. It's usually used to mark off inflammatory in vivo experiments from the milk or the serum, and its change occurred after IL-6, IL-1 beta, and TNF alpha. So in our study, we only choose IL-6, IL-1 beta, and TNF alpha to marker of the LTA-induced inflammatory. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. And second question, do you offer to use chlorogenic acid extract for mastitis control? Explain why.
Thank you, Professor. I think maybe in the future, we will offer to use chlorogenic acid extract for mastitis control. But now, the answer may be no, because in our experiment, we only do the in vitro experiments, and we need to be supported by the in vivo experiment result. Maybe after that, we can offer it to the mastitis controls. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm satisfied.
Thank you, Владимир Владимирович. Professor, Doctor Veterinary Science, Ulko Larisa Grigorьевна, your questions, please.
Hello. I have two questions. Please, can you ask me when determined the therapeutic effect Taraxacum officinale in mastitis in cow? Why don't you compare it with conventional treatment method?
Thank you, Professor. My answer should be here in our in vitro control experiment. We compared the chlorogenic acid extract on BMEC with desamethasone. Next, on the in vivo experiment, we should do the compare with conventional treatment methods. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. And second question, did you use the animals for the research, and did you follow the requirements of BIT? Yes.
Thank you, Professor. Yes, we use animals for our research. We take milk from the Ukraine cows. And in our experiments, we follow the requirements of bioethics. At the same time, will also complete with the laboratory safety regulations. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are you satisfied, Лариса Григорівна?
Yes, of course.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please, Юрій Володимирович Мусієнко.
Yupi, I have two questions. The first, please describe the subject of study, and the second, do you think it would be desirable to expand the range of breeds of Ukrainian and foreign cats?
Thank you, Professor Yuri. For your question, for the first question, my answer should be the subject of this study is the anti-inflammatory effect of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacum officinale on inflammatory model of bovine memory epithelial cells induced by LTA. For the second question, my answer is yes. It's necessary to explain the range of Ukraine and foreigner dairy cows. This will bring high-quality materials, such as disease-resistance genes, high-yield traits. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I am satisfied. I am satisfied.
Thank you. Sipin, I also have a few questions. Please describe the study of detection and extraction process of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacum officinale.
Thank you, Professor. We use the single-factor experiment to find the effect of solvent concentration, temperature, time, and liquid-solid ratio on extraction of chlorogenic acid extract from dandelion, and use Oscano test to determine the best process conditions. For the detection of CGA on extract from dandelion, we use HPLC method. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next questions. How can the results of your research be used in practice?
Thank you, Professor. Maybe in the future, we can select several farmers to add dandelion extract to the regular milk feed to the kid, and to study its effect on the growth performance and blood immune indicators. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sipin. I am satisfied. Шановні присутні, чи немає більше запитань до нашої аспірантки? Немає, дякую. No more questions, thanks. Дозвольте мені ознайомити присутніх з висновком про наукову новизну, теоретичне та практичне значення результатів дисертації. Let me acquaint those present with the conclusion about the scientific novelty, theoretical and practical signification of the results of the thesis. Отже, шановні колеги, висновок про наукову новизну, актуальність, практичне та теоретичне значення дисертації Сюньпінь на тему протизапальні ефекти, механізм дії екстракту хлорогенової кислоти з Taraxacum officinale на ЛТА-індукований мастит дійних корів, підготовлена згідно діючих вимог, містить всі необхідні елементи, такі як актуальність теми, дослідження, які не викликають жодних сумнівів. Показано, що робота виконана у відповідності з науковими програмами, планами і темами. Також дотримані вимоги академічної доброчесності, успішно пройдено перевірку на плагіат. Дисертаційна робота складається з вступу, основного змісту, що включає 5 розділів загальних висновків, списку використаної літератури з 158 джерел та додатків. Основний зміст роботи викладено на 146 сторінках, включаючи 38 рисунків і 15 таблиць. Наведені висновки та положення обґрунтовані, достовірні і не викликають сумнівів. Робота написана грамотною англійською мовою. Тож можна зробити висновок, що дисертаційна робота Сюйпінь протизапальні ефекти, механізм дії екстракту хлорогенової кислоти з Taraxacum officinale на ЛТА-індукований мастит містить мастит удійних корів, яка подана на здобуття ступеня доктора філософії за своїм науковим рівнем, практичною цінністю, змістом та оформленням повністю відповідає вимогам щодо оформлення дисертацій і порядку присудження доктора філософії, затверджена постановою КМУ від 12.01.22 року номер 44, який скасовує попередні накази МОН України від 12.01.17 номер 40 та МОН України від 31.05.19 номер 759 зі змінами та доповненнями, що відповідає напрямку наукового дослідження освітньо-наукової програми Сумського національного аграрного університету зі спеціальності 211 ветеринарна медицина. Далі переходимо до обговорення дисертаційної роботи CUP. We begin the discussion of the dissertation work by CUP. Дозвольте розпочати дискусію. Опоненти та рецензенти зачитують свої відгуки, а саме зауваження та запитання до здобувача CUP. Починаємо обговорення. Start discussion. Doctor of Veterinary Science, Professor Улько Лариса Григорівна, please.
Окей, дякую, Оксана Івановна. Хочу зачитати свій висновок коротенький. На англійській мові, мабуть, так потрібно зачитувати.
Так.
Так. Добре. І так. Official review for the dissertation for work PQ, anti-inflammatory effect and the mechanism of fluorogenic acid extract from Paracasum officinale on LTA induced mastitis in dairy cow. Submitted for obtaining the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 2-1 veterinary medicine and the specialty 2-1-1 veterinary medicine. Appreciating PQ's dissertation work, I would like to make some comments and get answer to some questions that arose during the work on her dissertation. 1. Why was the reactive protein not studied as the main marker of inflammation? Next, insufficient attention is paid to specific form on inflammation on the mammary gland. 3. It would be desirable to expand the range of breeds of Ukrainian and foreign cows. Comments expressed don't affect the positive evolution on the work because they don't relate to the essence of the thesis and don't affect the conclusion and proposals for production. Next, approval of research results competence of the statement of scientific provisions, conclusion, recommendation formulated in the work. The dissertation is presented on 146 pages of computer text, illustrated with 15 tables and 38 figures, and consists of annotations, introductions, review, literature, materials and methods, result of own research, generalization, analysis, and discussion of research results, and other. The list of used sources of literature include 182 names, scientific provisions, conclusion, and the recommendation are sufficiently fully set out in published works. And next, concerning couplings of the dissertation with the established. The content of scientific research carried out by PQ definitely corresponds of the specialty 2-1-1 veterinary medicine. The work was performed at the appropriate level and meet the requirements for the edition of the dissertation and the procedure awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy approved by the resolution of the CMU date 12/01/2022, number 44, which cancelled the previous orders of the Ministry of Education and Culture of Ukrainian date January 12, 2017, number 40, and the Ministry of Education and Culture of Ukrainian date May 31, 29, number 758, with change and additions. And next, importance for science and practice of the results obtained by the author of the dissertation and ways of their use. Next. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Лариса Григорівна. Шановна Сюпінь, вам надається можливість відповісти на зауваження, які були викладені у рецензії рецензента. You are given the opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in the reviewer's review. Сюпінь, please.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, dear Professor Oker. We agree with your response, and we want to give answers for your questions. C-reactive protein is a non-specific acute phase protein. When dairy cows suffer from mastitis, the indicators of C-reactive protein in milk will increased. In vitro experiment, the first change occurred on TNF-alpha, IL-6, and IL-1 beta in inflammatory reactions, so we only choose them as the mini marker. We will pay more attention to specific forms of inflammatory of the mammary gland, and we agree with all your remarks. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are you satisfied, Лариса Григорівна?
Yes, of course.
I need reviewers to speak. Please, Associate Professor Юрій Володимирович Мосієнко.
I'd like to submit response official reviewer for the dissertation work of CUPN, anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacum officinale on LTA-induced mastitis in dairy cow, which was submitted for the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy to a one-time medical examination at the Sumy National Agrarian University, branch of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine and specialty 211 veterinary medicine. Appreciating CUPN's dissertation work, I would like to make some comments and get answers to some questions that arose during the work on her dissertation. The first, in addition to study the clinical form of mastitis in cow, I would be desirable to pay attention to the subclinical form. The second, when studying the therapeutic effectiveness, it would be better to expand the spectrum of mastitis pathogens, including not only Staphylococcus aureus, but also other bacteria, possibly mycoplasma. When determining the therapeutic effect of Taraxacum officinale in mastitis in cow, it would be desirable to compare it with conventional treatment methods. Thank you.
Thank you, Юрій Володимирович. Are you given CP, given the opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in the reviewers review. Please.
Thank you, dear professor. We agree with your response and we agree with all your remarks. We will pay more attention to the subclinical form of mastitis in course. And we could study the effect of thorax circumofficinale on the other bacteria and to compare its therapeutic effect with conventional treatment methods. Make the research more completely. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Pingsу. Я запрошую до виступу офіційного опонента.
Yes, if
Are you
I'm satisfied.
satisfied? Oh, thank you. Я запрошую до виступу офіційного опонента. I invite an official opponent to speak. Academic none, Doctor of Veterinary Science, Professor Валерій Олександрович Чушкалов, please.
Дякую. Так, response. Response the official opponent of Xuping dissertation work anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism of action chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacoma officinale on LTA induced mastitis of dairy calves, which was submitted for obtain the scientific degree of Doctor Philosophy at the one-time Special Council of Sumy National Agrarian University branch of Knowledge 21 Veterinary Medicine specialty 211 Veterinary Medicine. In general, positively evaluating the work of Pingshu dissertation, I consider it necessary to obtain some clarification from the author regarding the result presented in his dissertation. Namely, in section 2, materials and methods, is necessary to provide research method of reference the term, so that it is possible to reproduce or repeat the result of experimental study obtained by the author. This is for the future. What do his dissertation student call the extract obtained by him phenolic? What substance was used for extraction? Next, explain figure 322b in relation to the two peaks of the chromatograms located between 2.5 and 5 minutes. What substance do these peaks contain? In your opinion, could the first peaks contain substances that have antimicrobial and or anti-inflammatory effect? Next, provide an explanation reading figure 323 antibacterial activity of the plant extract. In your opinion, how difference in zone inhibition of the growth of Staphylococcus calci and in inflammants on the investigation extract compared to the control? I don't see difference. Next, briefly state the methodology and evolution inhibition Staphylococcus biofilm formation step by step. What method assessment of electrical conductivity was used? Provide a link the methodology. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Валерий Alexandrovich. Suping are given the opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in the reviewers of official opponents. Please, Pingshu.
Okay. Thank you, dear Professor Valerie. We are agree with your response and we want to give answers for some of your questions. For the first question, we completely agree with your suggestion and we will provide research methods or reference to the materials and methods in the future writing. For the second question, phenolate is a kind of organized ester containing phenol ring. Taraxacum contains a lot of active substance. There are mostly kinds of phenolic acid in it, including coffee acid and chlorogenic acid. They are the main antibiotics, bacterial active substance of dandelion. Our extract, including a lot of substance, is a crude production, and the substance obtained by the extraction process of phenolic acid, so we named it phenolic. The extraction methods of dandelion can be divided into water extraction and alcohol extraction. Here, we use the alcohol extraction and use arsenal for extraction. The third question, we use HPLC method to detect the UV absorption of the standard samples at 310 nanometer, but there are 30 phenolic acid has been isolated from dandelion. They all have the absorption peaks at this nanometer. So this is the limitation of HPLC detection method. We can't sure what substance it is, and we also don't know the peak has antibacterial or anti-inflammatory effect or not. We are very sorry for this. For the fourth question, the antibiotics activity of the extraction against Staphylococcus aureus was determined by the test of inhibition zone method. We must admit that this picture is not perfect, because the rates of extraction with different concentrations have little difference. We will pay more attention to it in the future. Wish you satisfied. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are satisfied, Валерій Олександрович?
Yes, yes. Дякую.
Thank you. Next. Associate Professor Володимир Володимирович Зажарський. Please, I invite an official opponent to speak.
Okay. Response official opponent for the dissertation work therapeutic anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism of chlorogenic and acid extract for Taraxacum officinale on LDA induced mastitis in dairy cows. Sublimit for obtaining the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine in the specialty 211 veterinary medicine. The dissertation work of therapeutic anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacum officinale on LDA induced mastitis in dairy cows meets the requirement for dissertation works in Ukraine. A relevant topic of research is chosen. The conducted scientific research corresponds to the most modern level. Valuable results are obtained scientific results that have theoretical and practical significance for science and veterinary medicine specialists. At the same time, Huping's dissertation has minor shortcomings, some remarks, and wishes. First, fat is declared as one of the keywords, but this indicator is not found even in the giant result of our research. Second, some grammatical and typographical errors. Page 12, literature review, page 125. Unfortunate expression in order to provide a reference to the change herbal treatment of mosquitoes in dairy cows. Our work provides a scientific basis for research and development of drugs based on change herbs and relevant fundamental research, page 8. Third, there are some typographical errors in the bibliography. For example, Dio is written instead of Doi. In literature, number 71, 72, 89, 113, 117, 157. The page are not indicated. In the process of reviewing the dissertation, some questions arose. First, one of the tasks in the work, creation of cell culture in vitro and a system of memory epithelial cells of Ukraine dairy cows. Please tell us more about the isolation of epithelial cells from milk. Second, in the conclusion from literature review, you indicate that research needs to understand the antibacterial mechanism of plant extract against pathogenic bacteria such as Staphylococcus aureus and Escherichia coli, and reveal the protective mechanism of plant extract against mastitis in dairy cows. But the research is devoted to Staphylococcus aureus. Has there been any research done on Escherichia coli? Third, you used ultrasonic extraction and high performance liquid chromatography to extract chlorogenic acid from Taraxacum officinale. Please compare the two methods, indicate and advantages and disadvantages. Fourth, based on which result do you conclude the best seeding density for the proliferation of bovine memory epithelial cells was 10,000. Fifth, why did you choose lipoic acid to induce a model of inflammation in bovine memory epithelial cells? Sixth, what compound is inflammatory cytokine it was is the meaning? And seventh, you propose to use dendacial extract as a new type of feed additive in production. In your opinion, the protozoa found in ruminants stomachs will know as chlorogenic acid for their round needs. Are you sure that this substance will reach the epithelial cells of the mammary gland? Thank you.
Thank you, Vladimir Volodymyrovich. Given the opportunity to respond to comments that have been posted in the review as official opponent. Please.
Okay, thank you, dear professor. We agree with your response. We agree with all your remarks and correct the mistake in my dissertation. Now we want to give some answers of your questions. First, in order to obtain the memory epithelial cells from milk, we must avoid the infection of the bacteria. When we get the milk from the cow, we should take the milk quickly back to the laboratory. And the milk contains a large amount of protein and fat. This makes the culture mediums more easy to effect of bacteria. So we must remove them as much as possible. At the same time, we should divide more culture dishes. The more we culture, the more choose for us. Compared with the cell from the co-teachers, the amount of the cell from milk was less, but the number of other cells was also less. So it was easy to purify. The second question, we are sorry for the mistake in the conclusion from my dissertation. From now on, we only have done the research on Staphylococcus aureus. Maybe we should change the description there. Third, for these two methods, the method autosthenic is an extraction method. The advantages are it has high extraction efficiency and short extraction time, low extraction temperature, and wide adapted. We cannot repair the machine without stop it. It is disadvantage. For the HPLC, it's a detection method. The detection method HPLC has high lattice and high direction sensitivity and wide application range, but the cost of HPLC is high. For the first question, we based on the result of the real-time cell assay RTCA result to conclusion the best seeding decisions. This method can monitor the growth of the cells. And the last question, as you see, they will use chlorogenic acid for their own needs, but we think the amount of their use was very small. We thought this has no effect on the total amount of the additive. And I'm not sure this substance will reach the epithelial cells of the mammary gland or not. We will try to prove this by the further experimental. That's all. Thank you. Wish you're satisfied.
Thank you. Володимир Володимирович, are you satisfied?
Thank you. I am satisfied.
Thank you. Thank you, Monsieur Пінь. За регламентом роботи спеціалізованої вченої ради переходимо до дискусії дисертаційної роботи СЮПінь. Наголошую на тому, що у дискусії мають право взяти участь всі присутні члени вченої ради. Тому прошу, хто має бажання висловитись з приводу даної роботи. According to the rules of work of the Specialized Academic Council, they proceed to the discussion of the thesis of SUPIN. I advise that all present members of the Academic Council have the right to take part in the discussion. Therefore, I ask those who want to speak about this work. Please, Doctor of Veterinary Science, Professor Ulko Larisa Grigorьевна.
Thank you. About this dissertation and about the European, yes. The dissertation is of pain hue, anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacum officinale on LTA and induced mastitis in dairy cows. Is a completed research work in terms of relevance, scientific novelty, theoretical and practical significance of the obtained result. It meets the requirements regarding the design of this and procedure for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Thank you, Larisa Grigorьевна. Плюс Юрій Володимирович Мусієнко.
the dissertation work of Supin, anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacum officinale on LTA-induced mastitis in dairy cow is a completed research work in terms of relevance, scientific novelty, theoretical and practical significance of the obtained results. It meets the requirements regarding the design of thesis and the procedure for awarding the degree of Doctor of
Thank you. Please, academic, Doctor of Veterinary Science, Professor Ушкало Валерий Александрович.
Thank you. Dissertation Supin anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism of action of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxacum officinale on LTA-induced mastitis in dairy cows, which was submitted for obtaining the scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy as a one-time special council of the Sumy National Agrarian University, used is the accordance with the current order of the Ministry of the Education and of Science of Ukraine in terms of relevance, scientific novelty, and practical significance of the obtained the result of it fully meets the requirements stipulated in the degree award procedure Doctor Philosophy approved by the valid resolution of the Cabinet Ministry of Ukraine, and it's after deserved to be awarded the education and scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine in the specialty 211 veterinary medicine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Валерий Александрович. Please, Professor Владимир Зажарский.
However, despite some minor shortcomings, the dissertation made a very positive impression. The identified shortcomings do not reduce the scientific value and practical importance of the dissertation work. In Hughes' dissertation on the topic anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism of chlorogenic acid extract for Taraxacum officinale on LTA-induced mastitis in dairy cows, in accordance with order of the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, date January 12, 2017, number 4, on approval of the requirement for the preparation of a dissertation, and the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, date May 31, 2019, number 759, which change and addition is a completed scientific research work which, according to the relevance of the chosen topic, scientific novelty, theoretical and practical significance of the obtained results, the level and scope of the performance research fully meet the requirements stipulated by the procedure for awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy approved by the resolution of the Cabinet of Ministry of Ukraine, date 21/2022, number 44, and it's also research the award of the educational and scientific degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine, in specially 211 veterinary medicine. Thank you.
Thank you, Volodymyr Volodymyrovich. I invite a dissertation tutor, Hanna Anatolievna, to speak.
Дякую, шановна Оксана Іванівна. Good afternoon, dear members of the Specialized Council, dear colleagues. Thank you very much for the opportunity to say some words about CPIN and her research. First of all, I want to say thank you to our opponents and reviewers for their work and support, for the valid and fair comments and questions. Thank you for your time. We very appreciate. So thank you very much. And today's is last defense, but of course, I hope that I will have successful cooperation with all my Chinese PhDs. I want to say that it was my great experience. I really enjoyed working together with Pin and other girls. So, of course, I want to thank Pin for her hard work. So Pin is very hardworking, literate, and decent graduate student. She is very polite and she is very clever. She entered graduate courses in 2019, and first year she spent in Ukraine. Together, we developed the plan and structure of her scientific research. During the year in Ukraine, she tried to get as much information as possible, attend as many conferences and seminars as possible. She took an active part in the life of our department. She spent the next 2 years in China doing her research. Her Chinese supervisor helped and support her, and I want to say thank you for him, and yeah, thank you. We constantly communicated by the internet, online. All results were discussed, and then the dissertation was prepared for defense. I want to mark that Pin has done her research on a very relevant topic. She processed a large number of literature, conducted her research independently using modern equipment. And I can say that her PhD thesis is completed research papers that has been completed in accordance with the purpose and objectives. The results obtained by her are highly informative and reliable, as it was obtained on a sufficient number of animals using effective research methods and meets the requirements for the design of the dissertations and the procedure for awarding the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. And like other my PhD students from China, Pin was not able to return to Ukraine as we planned because of the Russian invasion. And today her defense is taking place online, and I want to thank Pin for her moral support since February 24th. It is known that we have difficult and terrible time now. Every day Russia kills hundreds of Ukrainians, but we continue to work, hoping that everything will be fine. And I hope that we will cooperate with Pin and she will have the opportunity to visit Ukraine after our victory. And I ask you, dear members of the Specialized Council, to support Pin and her dissertation work and award her the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, dear Ганна Анатолівна. Чи бажає ще хтось виступити? Does any else want to speak? Якщо немає бажаючих, тоді пропоную закінчити обговорення. If there are no objection, I suggest ending to discussion. Нами попередньо був розроблений проект рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради. Дозвольте його зачитати. Спеціалізована вчена рада Сумського національного аграрного університету Міністерства освіти та науки України міста Суми прийняла рішення щодо про присудження ступеня доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина на підставі прилюдного захисту дисертації протизапальні ефекти механізм дії екстракту хлорогенової кислоти стараксум офіциналі на ЛТЕ-індукований мастит від дійних корів, anti-inflammatory effect and mechanism of chlorogenic acid extract from Taraxum officinale of LTA-induced mastite in dairy cows за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина 17 лютого 2023 року. Сюй Пінь, 1986 року народження, громадянка Китайської Народної Республіки, освіта вища. Закінчила у 2012 році Хінанський інститут науки та технологій Китайської Народної Республіки за спеціальністю клінічна ветеринарна медицина. Аспірантуру закінчила у 2022 році. Сумський національний аграрний університет Міністерства освіти і науки України, міста Суми. Дисертацію виконано у Сумському національному аграрному університеті Міністерства освіти і науки України, міста Суми. Науковий керівник Фотіна Ганна Анатоліївна, доктор ветеринарних наук, професор кафедри ветсанекспертизи, мікробіології, зооєни, безпеки і якості продуктів тваринництва Сумського національного аграрного університету. Здобувач має 20 наукових публікацій за тему дисертації, з яких 4 статті у наукових фахових виданнях, 3 статті у фахових виданнях, які входять до міжнародних наукометричних баз Scopus та Web of Science, і 13 інших публікацій. Чи є зауваження щодо проєкту рішення спеціалізованої вченої ради? Немає. Тоді переходимо до процедури відкритого голосування щодо присудження ступеня доктора філософії Сюйпінь. Прошу кожного проговорити на камеру свій висновок. Таким чином, я, Шкрамада Оксана Івановна, голосую за присудження ступеня доктора філософії Сюйпінь. Будь ласка, члени спеціалізованої вченої ради. Будь ласка, професор Улько Лариса Григорівна.
Окей, я, Улько Лариса Григорівна, голосую за присудження ступеня доктора філософії. Ступінь
Дякую.
є?
Дякуємо. Мусієнко. Юрій Володимирович.
Я Мусієнко Юрій Володимирович, голосую за присудження ступеня доктора філософії. Здобувайтеся. Сюйпінь.
Дякуємо. Академік, професор Ушкалов Валерій Олександрович, будь ласка.
Я, Ушкалов Валерій Олександрович, голосую за присудження пошукачці Ксюпінг ступеня доктора філософії.
Дякуємо. Володимир Володимирович Зажарський, будь ласка. Як ви
Я,
голосуєте?
Зажарський Володимир Володимирович, голосую за присудження Ксюпінь ступеня доктора філософії, галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина, за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. Дякую.
Всім дякую. Одноголосно. Шановні колеги, оголошую результати голосування про присудження Сюйпінь ступеня доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина, за спеціальністю 211 ветеринарна медицина. За проголосувало 5 членів спеціалізованої вченої ради. Проти немає. На підставі результатів відкритого голосування спеціалізована вчена рада присуджує Сюйпінь ступінь доктора філософії з галузі знань 21 ветеринарна медицина, за спеціальності 211 ветеринарна медицина. Дозвольте привітати Сюйпінь з успішним захистом дисертації. Based on the rules of the open voting, the Specialized Academic Council of the Sumy National Agrarian University awards Shyupin the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in field of knowledge 21 veterinary medicine with especially 211 veterinary medicine. Congratulate Shyupin, congratulate tutors Hanna Анатоліївна. Слово надається аспірації Сюйпінь. I wait to graduate student Сюйпінь, please.
Thank you, professors. Last, I want to say thanks to professors present here today. Thank you for your help, and thank you for your time. With your support under this difficult condition, I finished my PhD studies, so I want to say thank you to all of you. I want also to say thanks to Sumy National Agrarian University, my lovely school. I missed the time when we lived there. I want to say thanks to my dear tutor, Hannah Fortina and Tatjana Fortina. Thank you for all the things you do for me and help for me. I believe I will say thank you face to face in future or a few times later in Ukraine. I believe that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. На цьому засідання спеціалізованої вченої ради вважається закритим. Дякую всім за роботу. Прошу вас залишитись буквально ще на пару хвилин.
Shyupin, please close your demonstration. We make photo.
Okay, thank you.
Дякую.
Зараз зробимо фото загальне, будь ласка, ніхто не
We
уходить.
will make photo all together. And thank you so much for your words and my congratulations to you. I hope you will success in your future scientific work.
Thank you.
О, улыбаемся и машем.
Подождите, у нас мы есть?
Все есть, да. That's all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Дякую,
you.
шановні
See you
колеги,
later.
дякую за все.